Hello, and welcome to the Landscape Architecture Upper Division Courses module. In this module, we'll go over the Upper Division course requirements for the LDA major. Once you have taken the preparatory subject classes and have completed the transfer from pre-LDA to LDA, you can begin to take the Upper Division courses for the LDA major. An overview of the Upper Division requirements include LDA 60, 161, 170 and 171, 182, 183, 184, 2 quarters of LDA 190, and either LDA 150 or LDA 120, and you must also take ENH 105. These 11 courses will give you a total of 56 units and does not include the Upper Division restricted elective requirements, which will be talked about in a different module. Remember that you need at least 180 overall units to graduate, and that all classes for the major, so all the classes that were listed above, must be taken for a letter grade. Now we can explore these Upper Division courses in more depth. In LDA 160, students will use a hands-on approach to learn how to design and construct a small-scale project. This is the course that has built and designed everything in our Hunt Hall courtyard, including trellises, seating areas, bioswales, and planting areas, as well as the iconic grass couch that's outside of our building. In LDA 161, Professional Practice and Construction Documents, students will learn how to write professional proposals, calculate project and insurance costs, as well as build upon their construction documentation knowledge learned in LDA 60. LDA 170, Site Planning and Design Studio, teaches students how to analyze and design for the environmental and social conditions of project sites through field trips, lectures, and projects. Meanwhile, LDA 171, the Urban Design and Planning Studio, hones in on skills learned in 170 to design for large-scale urban sites, like cities. LDA 182, 183, and 184 are senior design studios that apply all the principles of landscape architecture learned in previous coursework. Students merge their knowledge of LDA into several projects throughout the quarter to problem-solve design problems, fine-tune graphic representation skills, and work independently and in groups to complete several projects throughout the quarter. Finally, LDA 190 is a one-unit seminar class that students will take twice throughout their time as a landscape architecture student. Students will attend a series of lectures that cover a variety of critical landscape architecture topics. Additionally, students have the choice to pick between LDA 120 and LDA 150 once they enter Upper Division standing. LDA 120, Landscape Representation 3, is an instructional class on critical digital representation tools, including Photoshop, Illustrator, AutoCAD, and Rhino 3D. Most students choose to take LDA 120, as you'll later find these skills necessary in other Upper Division classwork, but LDA 150 is also a great choice to build a different skill set. LDA 150, Introduction to Geographical Informational Systems, is a beginning guide to GIS, a critical mapping and data analysis tool. If you choose to take LDA 50 over LDA 120 for this requirement, it's recommended to take LDA 120 as a restricted elective at some point as well. Also of note is ENH 105, which follows up on the information learned in the lower division class, ENH 06. ENH 105 teaches students how to identify over 150 plants around the Davis campus, as well as their various family characteristics and uses in landscape design. This slide goes over example schedules of what your classes may look like once you begin taking Upper Division classes. For 4-year students, in your 3rd year you'll begin by taking LDA 160 in the fall, 120 and 170 in the winter, and finish with 171, 190, and ENH 105 in the spring. In your 4th year, you'll take LDA 161 and 182 in the fall, 183 in the winter, and 184 and 190 again in the spring. For transfers or 3-year students, in your 2nd year, you'll take LDA 160 in the fall, LDA 120 and 170 in the winter, and 171, 190, and ENH 105 in the spring. You'll finish by taking LDA 161 and 182 in the fall of your 3rd year, as well as 183 in winter quarter and 184 and 190 in spring. It's important to note, too, that you must make room for 16 units, or 4 classes, of restricted electives required for the major. These are usually taken when there's free space during your last 2 years of winter and spring quarter.